Dan here, DDSS Shop. I love this car. I hated it for a while, but I'm loving it again today. We'll see how the rest of the afternoon goes. Okay, so we're gonna work on this hot rod. Last couple of videos have been kind of just finishing up some little things. Honestly, it was a lot further along than I was remembering in my brain, which my brain is tiny, so it is what it is. Anyways, we got this thing running on the last video. The brakes are kind of working. We haven't drove it yet. We got the rear end swapped out. We got everything kind of dialed. Today, I might want to tighten that. I want to clean the interior out of this thing. I got some gauges. I got to mount those. Got an air fuel. I want to get this wired up and in. It's pretty simple. I don't know what else we got in here. Just a bunch of junk by the looks of it. I think. Yeah. I'm waiting on some air shocks for the back. I want to put those in instead of whatever I had. So we got that to. I think these two were fighting last night or something like that. Look at this. Anyway, under the hood, everything is pretty well taken care of. I want to rerun the fuel line. The headers have changed, so it's in a bit of a different position. That's just aluminum with like a rubber hose. Get that taken care of. I want to make sure the plug wires are. This is just some junk plug wires I had. I'll probably end up ordering some like custom make your own kind of deal. So you got to get on that. There's some miscellaneous wires here. I don't even know what all are for. You got to get that taken care of. This is an old oil pressure gauge. Make sure that's all good. I actually, in the corner back there, I bought 3 hood bars, Tri-5 Chevy, well 55 Chevy hood bars. Just this piece right here, which this hood had never had over there. So we'll go ahead and put that on there. But the big one is, I think I'm gonna try and attempt to put this fan together if I can. So this is the Delta fan. Ooh, and it's super fancy, but actually super easy to hook up. And I think it just needs power ground and like switch 12. But what I have here, this is another Delta fan, which I bought off of Facebook a while ago. But it's the weekend, everything's closed. I need these fasteners, so I might just rob these so I can bolt the thing on. That's all I'm gonna do. And yeah, wire it up. You ready to mow some grass? You're looking good, baby. So anyways, that's the plan today, kind of clean this thing up, and I'd like to maybe start tuning on it a little bit. I think I might pull a little bit of timing out. I might pull a little bit of jet out of it, and then we'll have to play with the air fuel at idle, which will make life way easier when you have a gauge hooked up to it. But there's a chance we might be able to take this thing around the block. Around the cul-de-sac, maybe? And then, yeah, see where it's at. Like, start driving this thing. But I want to get this thing done because honestly, this thing we're taking on a road trip here, I think probably shortly. You think these two were fighting last night? This one looks like it's got like a black eye on the door or something like that. It's like someone dented it. Anyways, I'm going to get to work while Danny does her 1 hour of work this week.
It takes me like 3 hours to mow the lawn.
Oh, it only takes 3 hours because you're slow. Okay, small progress. I redid the fuel line. This looks a little janky, but how much we're gonna do is split this, and I put a fuel filter right there, and it'll be away from everything, and I won't have any issues. So that's that for now. Radiator is out. Yeah. So this is the fan that I took off. Just this generic, you know, junky one. This is the unit going on, so I'm just kind of centering it up, and it's got these 4 bolts, which I'm going to steal off of this, because this shroud, I don't know if I'll use it or not ever again, but we'll take that out. We'll just be able to bolt it right in. And unfortunately, this is, I took this out of the box yesterday, which was probably the main issue. The way this works is this connector here, which is all bagged up. This is your temperature sender, and this thing here, actually, you know what, hang on. This is the brains of the operation. And this is super cool and super simple, and you just kind of leave this under the hood. But what it's going to do, it has which fan you want to control. So in this case, we only have the one mode, your temperature setting, and you can adjust the speed and the temperature. So what this thing does, which is very cool, you can set it up based on the temperature sensor, which I'll get. That's the problem I'm running into. So we will get it in a future video, but basically you can have it kick on at a temperature and a speed. So let's say, I think there's, let's just say full throttle is 8. So let's say if you want to have this thing come on to a level 4, half speed at 170 degrees or 175 degrees or whatever, it's going at 4, and then, you know, hopefully it'll cool down and it will, you know, kick off, especially when you're cruising down the highway, for instance. But let's say then you're in traffic and it goes up to 175 degrees and it goes up level 4, so it kicks on half speed. It's bumper to bumper, it's hot out, it's on the asphalt. Well, and you go, hey, it gets to 185, you want it to be max. It'll go to 185, fan will go full tilt, it drops to 175, it'll go down, and eventually it'll go off. So the idea is less wear and tear. So the cool thing with this, so Jon, Delta PAG or PAG, I don't know how it's said, but they originally started building stuff for New York City taxi cabs. That's what these fans were originally kind of figured out with. Now, oh, have I already lost the temperature sender? That sounds about right. So if a New York taxi cab can make it happen, then so can this. Oh, here we go. So this is the sensor, your typical deal, and it's got your little 2-pin connector. The problem we're running into is this is your standard small block Chevy deal, and it's, I'll show up my camera, this is bigger, so I need a bushing to bring it down. Now it's Sunday afternoon, that ain't gonna happen right now today. But we have 2 options, well, or minimal options actually, because these cylinder heads don't have a provision on the side, so all we have is the intake, which I'm going to use for the gauge itself, and then we have the water pump, I guess, is where it's going to end up going. So, damn it, Danielle, with the mowing on camera. You know, I guess you get what you pay for. The camera's been off for half hour and she doesn't drove by. So I have to make this adapted into either that or the bigger one. Now, this may not give the ideal temperature, which is all irrelevant because it's giving a constant temperature. So let's say if it's in the water pump and it's actually 15 degrees lower, just an example, than the intake is, doesn't matter. We'll figure out how we want it to work, and then we'll just adjust it. So maybe the fan comes on at 165 instead of 175 or 185 instead of 175. You know what I mean? So you can kind of play with it a little bit and it'll do its thing. So what I'm gonna do, because I'm a butcher, we're just gonna disconnect this wire here and this one here. We'll leave that one loose, or whatever this one goes to, leave it loose. And we're gonna hook these up to the way it had the other fan connected. It'll have switch power, which again, Jon has been very clear he doesn't like, because the fan is just always on and you're running down the highway. It's pointless, it doesn't need to be on, and then you can overspeed the fan, or if you're doing something goofy, the fan can be trying to be spin backwards. All this stuff just is wear and tear. And I don't know how many hours this thing has. I mean, I'll put it in the comment section if I remember, but it's a ludicrous amount of time, 50,000 hours or something like that, that this fan has a service life for. So if you can spread that out, if it's not needed, why have it on? So now that the fan will outlast the car is basically what I'm trying to say. So I've never had a problem with this. I love these things. I put them on. They're not, what's the word for it? They're not cheap, but the value is there, I guess is the word for it. So you know how I am, notoriously cheap. We're putting in junk. We do a lot of stuff like that. When it comes to the cooling system and stuff we're actually going to do anything with serious power or go on road trips or whatever, I buy that. I got that on my Nomad. Well, both Nomads will have it now, and Danny's got it on her Chevy too. And it was sitting in, I paid for this, just so we're clear. It's not a sponsored deal, but I just love the guy. He's so friendly, and he takes my calls when he really doesn't have to. And he talks me through it, and I just think it's a good product. But anyways, that we were sitting at, I don't know, 80, 90 degrees, bumper to bumper traffic, cruising the coast, And cooling systems is like my number one thing I struggle with, because I hate overheating. There's nothing you can do about it. Everything else you can fix on the car. If you have a poor cooling system, there's nothing you can do to fix that on the side of the road without, I mean, obviously something like this, a major repair. Anyways, I'm gonna quit babbling. I'm gonna put that back together, sandwich it back on the radiator, put it all back in, and then we can just do the wiring you know, down the road tomorrow or the day after once I get the proper fittings for this. And yeah, we'll get it all dialed together in the next one. I don't really remember where we ended off doing the fan stuff. We got it all dialed together.
Had a delicious sandwich.
Oh, yeah, this delicious sandwich. Danny's done working. If anybody's watching this, well, here's how I feel. So I wired up the fan. If anybody send Delta Jon, you know, Delta PAG, a little, hey, thanks for helping out Dan, he's, you know, dealing with him. But don't tell him about the wiring. But I think the way it works, I'm not really 100% sure because he's American, like habeas corpus, whatever, but he sold it to me, so he's like 60% responsible for what happens for it, right? So that's the way it goes. Oh, actually, one thing I was gonna say, so he's in New York, but he was part of some outfit, I don't know what it is, but, and this is, everything changes daily, I guess, but there's no tariff on it because he pays into something, or does something. So that was pretty cool. So if you're or Canadian, you don't have to do all that. Now, you want to hear the fan kick on here? It damn near pulls the car ahead. So now I just have it wired wide open, but key on, triggers it. It just wails. It's so good. Okay, so we got that all dialed together, which I'm pretty stoked about. Now, the other thing is, I don't know what the CFM is on that thing, but what he did say is his are like real CFM versus when you look on like, you know, Amazon, eBay, they all say a bazillion, but they don't, like, you put that side by side with the same thing, it's far different. You want to come in this side? I'll show you what I got going on here. Oh, dome light. I love the dome lights work. I love it. Anyways.
Whoa, cool.
I kind of cleaned it up a little bit in here. We got our gauges figured out. I removed the volts to put in air fuel. So I don't know, I'll figure something out with a volt gauge, I guess. These are not hooked up to anything, but they're just cool. I'd like to use them for some, well, maybe not that one.
Put man up to it.
Because John gave us a whole, like, you know, system we have to use.
Oh, okay.
Which we've bypassed. This thing has this tiny little tack, which I took all apart, figured out how it was wired. The wires were crazy, but I put a new light in and everything, but lights up. That's kind of cool. So.
Radio?
There's no radio. But I have that other radio. Like I bought the Bluetooth fancy one.
Well, I can't get this one working.
Well, I haven't looked at it, but it's also just AM generic. We can't hook a phone to it, no Spotify, no nothing.
So?
Okay. Anyway, so what we're going to do now is, oh, I wired this thing up. It's super simple. It has a pile of wires with it. I understand people get a little maybe nervous about wiring. So there's the one wire that goes from the exhaust up and it plugs in, super simple. The other one has a whole pack of wires, of which we only use 2 of them, ground and switch 12. It's designed, I assume, to hook into like your computer, Holly, all sorts of things, maybe data logging, I'm not really too sure. But anyway, we have that. I wired everything, so I always like just having switch power on the lights just so they're always on all the time. What the plan is now, we're going to run this thing, get it up to temperature, and then we're going to set the tune just a little bit. Who's this walking up here? Some lady. Well, we're going to fire it up. We're going to, I guess, what is this? Hang on. She's coming around. Everyone be cool. She's got Ziploc bags. Maybe we'll just be right back here. Okay, we're back in the clear. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna fire this thing up. We're gonna see what the AFR is and all that. I'm gonna get up to temperature, then we'll mess with it. It's probably gonna be on the rich side, and we'll have to kind of play with it a little bit. And I gotta do a little research, talk to a few people, and then decide what just the car kind of likes. It seems like blower cars like a little bit on the richer side, like a 12.0 or 12.5 maybe. Obviously, maybe even the high 11s that are wide open throttle. So we'll figure that out. Little tachometer works. thing sounds good. 60 pounds, oil pressure. It's cold, so let this heat up and do its thing just for a second, and it'll tell us. It's definitely rattly. It's almost like there's a big honking motor in this thing. Come on, heating. Okay, so it's, yeah, high 11s. So she's definitely rich, but we'll let this thing idle. We'll let it get up to temperature. I'll pull out the timing light. I'm gonna put 30 degrees of timing in this thing, which is pretty conservative. I don't know what I have in it now. That's what we did at the initial. We're gonna find some rattles in this never had before. But we'll find out. We'll set it at 30 degrees. We'll see what it wants to idle at, and then we'll maybe adjust the like the air fuel. Then we'll maybe crank the idle up just a little bit because it's got that really stock converter in it. And then we'll go from there. So we'll be back in a few minutes when it's at temperature. Just adjusting the idle air fuel. It's very rich. We'll see what we can accomplish here. Still kind of build up some heat. Sounds good though. So, messing with it a little bit, got it to like 12.5 or so at idle, and it runs very, very smooth at that point, which is cool, but kind of boring. So, let's go ahead and richen it up a little bit and drop it like a half point to like 11.9 or something like that, and then it has that kind of cool chop. So, let's give this, we'll play with it a little bit more. Carburetor John's watching, don't judge. Sometimes you gotta just sound cool, man.
In your defense,
My
and
defense.
actually Carburetor John's defense, they are also very well aware that all you want is for it to sound cool.
Yeah, sound cool, do burnouts. Hey, I gave John Cecil my money. I now have this for a, this is, you know, I never really owned this. It's like when you buy land by the lake, it's like a 99-year lease. That's how motors work with those guys. Okay, so this thing here, distributor's locked out, so wherever we set it at is what she's gonna be. So I'm gonna put it to 30, and then we'll adjust the idle a little bit, play with the mixture a little bit, and then really I think I can back it out of the garage again. Huh? And I put the hood bar on, put the hood on, and it'll look like a frickin' car. bang on 30 degrees. Idling like 800, 850. 12.5 on the AFR. Richen that up a little bit. Get a little bit more choppy chop. That's all that really matters. And then I'm going to put it in gear and see what the RPM drops down to, because that's what I want to make sure is decent. You can have like a 750 or so idle in gear. Sounds good. Well, only like 700. Brakes feel not great. Drop down to like 650 in gear. Be a little light. Not bad, eh, Danielle? Okay. Want to unhook those? Sounds good. I'm gonna just lock down this distributor. So it had a little bit more timing in it. Took a little bit out. The blower rattle kind of went away too. I wonder if it was just like it was so rich and kind of the idle was causing it to bounce around. It wasn't happy. Do you think it'll back out? Whew, I'm excited. Yeah, it's pretty good now. It's much happier. Okay, I'm just gonna go turn around. Okay, well, I'm just gonna go turn around and put the hood on. I think it runs good. What do you think? No? This thing's a ripper. You want to guide me in? Oh. I should probably clean off the table here. Oh, let's clean the lift off first.
Why are you treating my driveway so poorly?
Hey, if I can't do donuts on the lawn, I gotta be able to do donuts on the driveway.
You are absolutely not doing donuts on my lawn. Big rips, man. Holy crap-a-roni.
That wasn't even, I don't even think I was wide open throttle yet because I feel like I'm hitting the carpet with my big boot. I gotta put a proper gas pedal on it. And like, it just didn't sound, I was up against the brake and I had my foot into it, but it sounded like the RPM wasn't all there. But then you like, I don't know, flat-footed or whatever, like it's...
It was instant smoke.
Yeah? I'm very happy with this.
I'm super happy for you.
This is gonna be a cool car. I can't wait to drive it. Except now it's gonna cost me more money because I want a gear venter because I don't want to lose the 410 instant smoke ability. This thing is friggin' awesome. Okay, well, I think at this point, we'll put the hood on it and just kind of let it chill for a little bit. I would like to get the fan hooked up properly, so maybe tomorrow's video or something like that. We can run into town and get a little bushing and get it all hooked up proper. And then it's a matter of just putting miles on it. Might want to put a couple of zip ties on the wiring at the back there, but kind of minor stuff. Yeah, let's put the hood on it. It'll look good. It's gonna look like just like a stock plain Jane nothing. And even the idle's not too raunchy. The mufflers are a little loud. Okay. Amazon now sells Black Widow neighbor haters. Hear me out. I want them. Okay, let's get some bolts. How's it look from the, oh yeah, it looks much better. Tri-5s need hoods and they need glass in them or else they look lame. It looks like it was like super swoopy down without the hood, but the hood gives it such that bulbous kind of deal. So we gotta wash this off a little bit because that's just sat here full of dust for months. The hood, the car's thinking maybe we'll just bring it around back. I'll wash it real quick.
Well, I charge it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited. Well, thanks for being along for the ride. I know we kind of took a bit of a pause from it. Somebody got a little burnt out on this thing, Danielle, but it's looking good now, and I'm pretty excited about it. So we'll be back in the next one in a couple of days.